Good morning, students. So, today we are again to start our syllabus of science. On the last turn, as you know, we were on the topic control and coordination. In that, we have studied about nervous system or the nervous tissue, then parts of human brain, and then mechanism of collection of information by different receptors and their transmission. Now we have to start a next topic, that is control and coordination in plants. So our topic is control and coordination in plants. As you know, plants do not have nervous system, muscles or sense organs like human beings. But like human beings and other animals, but they also respond on and react to various environmental stimuli. So, what are the stimuli? These are like gravity, light, touch, water, chemicals, etc. So, how do plants show response to stimuli? So, we can say that plants show how they show the response to stimuli. So, there are two types of movements in response to various stimuli. These movements are, first is growth independent movement or response, which is also called as Nastic movement. First is growth independent and called as or Nastic movement. So, Nastic movement, these are non-directional induced variations, means they are neither towards nor away from the stimulus. These give immediate response to stimulus, means they are very fast. But they do not involve growth. Mean in these type of movements, growth is not involved. These movements are induced, means produced by external stimuli such as light, temperature, touch, etc. For this, I am giving one of the examples. You have seen plant of Chui Mui called as touch me not plant or sensitive plant. When we touch the leaf of plant with our finger, we find that all its leaves immediately folds up and drop. Why this happens? This happens because during touching, the water in the amount of water in the leaves drop down, and that's why the leaves fold up. But after some time, the leaves regain their original status because now the amount of water increase again, this resulting in swelling up of leaf, and that's why the leaf again take the same shape, same status, yeah, original status. So here no growth is involved. Instead, plant cell change shape by changing the amount of water in them, and this is called as Turgor change. So meaning of Turgor change is change of amount of water in leaf is called as turgor change. We can have other examples also, like some of the plants, example is of sunflower. It also change its form according to the sun's rays. Beside that, you must have seen some of the leaves, they also drop during night and they open when the day starts. So these are the growth independent responses. Now second type is growth dependent responses. Growth, second type is growth dependent responses, which is also called as tropism. So tropism is the meaning of tropism is the directional response of plant towards or away from the stimulus is called as tropism. As we see, tropic movements are very slow because they show the growth in plants. Now many types of four types of tropism is there, in which first is phototropism. Phototropism, it is the directional movement of plant part in response to light stimulus. So first type of uh, growth dependent or tropism is types of tropism. This is phototropism. Phototropism. So for this I give one of the example. If we take two potted plants and keep one of plant in sunlight and other in direct sunlight and other in at the place in a room near a window in a such a way that it receives sunlight from one side only. So after some time we will notice that the first plant has grown up straight towards light, while the second has grown by bending towards the light. Thus the stem of the plant respond to light by showing growth movement towards light. So what can be the cause of growth, this type of growth? In the above activity which I have told, we have noticed that the plant grow by showing movements towards light. This growth movement of stem is caused by the action of hormone Oxen. So this is the due to presence of hormone Oxen that is synthesized at the tip of the stem or the shoot. When hormone Oxen synthesized at the tip of the stem or the shoot. In first case, when the plant is in direct sunlight in open area, Oxen diffuse equally on both sides. That's why stem grow straight. But in second case, plant receive light only from one side through the window. So the hormone Oxen release at the tip, move from to the one side and concentrated more on the side not receiving light or shady side. And due to presence of more Oxen, the shady side grew faster. As a result, stem bends towards direction of light. Phototropism, example of phototropism. Now in this case, when the direction is when the direction is towards the light, then it is called positive phototropism, and if the plant part moves away from the light, it is called negative phototropism. One of the activity related to this is also given in NCERT book. You can do that and find the answer of the given questions. Uh, Now, second type of tropism is geotropism. Geotropism. So, geo mean gravity. As we know, gravity refer to force with which the earth pulls all things towards it, so it act in downward direction. So meaning of geotropism is, it is the directional movement of plant part in response to gravity. Mean directional movement of plant part in response to gravity is called as geotropism. Example, we see when we grow a seed, its roots all and it germinate. It has two parts, plumule and radical always moves towards the soil or towards the gravity, and the plumule or the stem part always moves in the direction of gravity. So the roots show the positive geotropism and the stem shows the negative geotropism. Now, third type of tropism is chemotropism. Chemotropism, as the name indicate, it is the response to chemical stimulus. So chemotropism mean it is the directional movement of plant part in response to chemical stimulus. For it, we can see that the ripe stigma of carpel, that is the female reproductive part of a flower, secretes a sugary substance, that is that we can call chemical or hormone, into the style. When that sugary substance is secreted into the style towards the ovary, then the pollen grain respond to chemical by growing pollen tube in downward direction in the style of carpel. So you can understand it by diagram. It is here. When pollen, this is the part of this is stigma, and when pollen, this is pollen. When it reaches to the female reproductive part, that is on flower, and here secrete a sugary substance, means stigma secrete a sugary substance. Due to that, pollen forms a pollen tube that reaches up to the ovary and enters it, and through it the pollen grains can enter into the ovary. So this is the chemotropism. So if the plant part moves towards the chemical stimulus, it is called positive chemotropism, while if the plant part moves away from the chemical stimulus, it is called negative chemotropism. Now, fourth type of tropism is called as hydrotropism. Hydrotropism. Hydro mean up to the water. Now it is the directional movement of plant part in response to water stimulus. Mean hydrotropism mean the directional movement of plant part in response to the water stimulus. For example, we see roots always search for water, so they bend towards the water. And they show the positive hydrotropism, and the stem always moves away from the water. This is called as negative hydrotropism. So these are the parts of tropism, or the tropic movements, or the growth dependent movements. So in these all cases, we see these are related to the growth. Now in some cases, you must have seen directional movement of pea plant due to growth in response of touch. You know, pea plant has weak stems, so they needs support to climb up. The pea plant for this develop tendrils which help it to climb up other plants or fence or some other support. These tendrils are sensitive to touch. As the tendrils come in contact with any support, the part of the tendril away from the support grows faster than the part in contact with the support. As a result, the tendril circles around the support and clings to it. So this movement of tendril around the support is caused by the action of hormone Oxen. And in this case, more oxen is diffused from its site of synthesis, that is from its tip towards the side of the tendril away from the support, then the side in contact with the support. As a result, the side having more oxen grows faster than the one in contact with the support. This causes the tendril to circle around the support. So this is all for today. Next part of the topic we will carry on tomorrow.